In this lesson, we're going to create our test lab user accounts in Active Directory, and we're going to do that using a PowerShell script that makes the job just basically a lot easier. So here I am logged onto my domain controller, and I've got Internet Explorer. Now if you just search for creating lab users with a PowerShell script, it should get us directly to this telnetport25.com website. And this is Andy Grogan's website, and he's published this PowerShell script that does exactly what it says. It creates lab users using PowerShell. So let's go ahead and download that executable. Now if you're on a server like I am, you may get this security alert pop up. Current security settings do not allow this file to be downloaded. Alright, so I'm just going to trust Andy's site, and I just have to clear that SSL requirement. Alright, so there's the file. It's just going to extract to the C drive in this create users folder. No problem. Let's have a look at what we've got now. You can see there's a couple of CSV files. Those are basically the source files used by the script for creating the users. So there's just a whole bunch of first names, surnames, account names, and also this password. Now I do recommend that what you do is just do a find replace. So use Control H, for example, and replace that default password with something that only you know, because if you're allowing your test lab to be connected to, from the outside world, from the internet, that password one, that's not a very strong password, so it's possible that someone will be able to break into your server through one of these user accounts. Okay, so we're going to be running this from PowerShell, so let's get a PowerShell window open and navigate to that C create users folder. Now I'll just check my execution policy. So I have a restricted execution policy on there at the moment, and that's probably not going to allow this script to be run because we've downloaded it from the internet. So I'm just going to set my execution policy to unrestricted, and that will allow me to run that script with no problems. So just execute the script. A dialog pops up and it just asks us which of those CSV files we want to use. So you've actually got two of them there. I'm just going to use the labusers.csv file. And that script will then run through and create all those user accounts for us. Alright, so if you've done that, you'll have seen that it basically scrolls past as it's creating each of those users. And I've just had to skip over that part because it actually shows the password while it's doing that, so I didn't want that included in this video. But at the end, we can just jump out of PowerShell there, and let's go into the Active Directory users and computers. You can see this Exchange users OU has been created, and there's all our user accounts. They've all got this common description, lab user, created via script. Now I want to quickly test that these accounts work all right, so I'm going to test one of them. My good mate Alan Reed here, the test account that I use for pretty much everything. I'll just log into my Windows 7 client VM, and I'm logging in as administrator at the moment. And what I want to do while I'm in here is just check what the remote settings are and find out who is actually able to use remote desktop. So what I actually want to do here is add in my domain users because I'm not too concerned about security, but what I want is for my regular users to be able to log on via RDP as I'm doing testing with those user accounts. I'll just make that change. Log off again. And now we'll try Alan Reed. Alright, so I've confirmed that my user accounts work. I assume that if one of them works, then all of the other ones created by the same script are going to work as well. I haven't created a mailbox for this guy though, so there's no point in me launching Outlook at this time. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the next lesson, where we'll start to look at creating mailboxes for our users.